Hey everyone, this right here is the Case Nebula Fat Carbon Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive Marilla. In other words, the Case Marilla exclusively made for Smoky Mountain Knife Works with their Nebula Fat Carbon fiber. Anyways, this knife right here has magnacut steel, which is pretty cool upgrade from the standard Marilla, which has S35VN. I had this knife for about a month. I did an unboxing and an initial review video for it where I did it in Spanish. So if you're watching this, unless you speak Spanish, it's probably not that great of a video for you. But I wanted to kind of follow up with this knife and talk about some of the things that I noticed after doing the initial unboxing, and just where I think that this knife kind of fell short a little bit, but also like kind of just talk about, how much I actually do like this knife. So I guess we'll kind of first talk about where it falls short. So this knife, when I first got it, I noticed that the detent on here, like the hole for the detent ball, they made it too big. Like you can kind of see it in there right there. What I ended up doing is actually ended up putting just a pinch of epoxy in the back there, like to fill up the back of it. So that way it wouldn't fall in quite as far and kind of make that hole a little smaller. So there's still a little bit there, right? But it's not, not as bad as it was before. It was kind of similar to this knife where, I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it was kind of like that. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. And I guess the difference with this knife is this knife actually, it came perfect. Okay. And I ended up messing up the detent when I decided to acid etch the blade myself. And like a noob, I did not cover the detent hole with, what do they call it? With nail polish to keep it from like getting too big. I mean, on the pivot hole, right, I covered that in nail polish. So, and then I also covered the lockup with nail polish, and none of those things, wouldn't stick or anything like that. But I forgot to put nail polish on the detent hole and ended up making it too big and out wiggles a little. So I'm probably going to try that same epoxy trick that I did with this knife on this one to make it better. But this one actually came good. Now, yeah, so with the Marilla, so I ended up doing that. And so there's slight movement in there, but it's a lot better than it was. And I think it's acceptable at this point. How well that epoxy is going to hold up, I don't know. We'll find out. But that was kind of my fix for it. I guess I could have sent it into Case for their warranty and they could have taken care of it, but I didn't want to have to wait for it to come back. I mean, I do think it's a cool knife, and I'm an impatient person, so I figured I'd just do it myself. Other thing that stood out to me with this knife was just that this insert for the fat marble carbon fiber, I think is beautiful, right? But what I didn't like was how much it stood up. It actually had quite a bit of a raised lip, and it was sharper than I would have liked. And so I ended up sanding that down in order to make it smoother. So now it's like nice and smooth. And I personally think that the pattern looks better now. As I sanded it down, I thought the pattern changes as you sand it down. And I think the pattern looks better. So, and I guess that's another thing you could do if you didn't like a pattern on a marbled carbon fiber or fat carbon. You could sand it and end up with a different pattern. You just want to be careful that whatever you're sanding, you're not messing up important tolerances, right? So you got to keep that in mind when you're working with it. And the other thing to keep in mind is that as you sand those fibers are really bad to breathe in. And so the way I sanded this down is I actually put it in water, and then I was sanding it in water, so that way I wasn't getting the dust coming off of it, which you don't want to breathe in. So, but anyways, I think that turned out really nice, and I like how it locks up. For the most part, like there's still slight wiggle. I might be able to put in a little bit more epoxy in there, but I don't know if I want to mess with that at this moment. Yeah, we'll see in the future how I want to address that. But right now, I think it's acceptable. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think this knife is beautiful. And I don't know, I really like the knife. I think it's a cool knife. And it's definitely, it's cool having the magnacut. I mean, can take a pretty good edge on it, and seems to hold the edge pretty well also. So I do like that. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think this knife is a great knife, and I think it's worth it. I'm surprised to see, like, on Smoky Mountain Knife Works that they still have some of these in stock for $150, which for, getting magnacut and being American made and, with the fat carbon. I mean, I honestly am very surprised that they still have some in stock with the knife. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So, I just wonder if they just, Smoky Mountain Knife Works didn't market it as well as maybe they should have, because I don't understand how they still have them in stock, because this thing is cool. Yeah, so there's that. I guess one other thing, it could be a complaint. I don't really have too much of an issue with it, but I mean, some people, complain about the pocket clip there. It is a little bit kind of bulbousy and has like the standing up screws there, but I haven't really noticed an issue with it. At least with my pants, it's never really bothered me too much. The one thing that when you set it on a table, kind of like pushes it down, so maybe it doesn't look as good when you're displaying it on a table, but because it kind of raises it up on one side, but you're going to get that with any pocket clip, right? So but yeah, I really like this thing. So yeah, those are just a little bit of a follow-up with this knife and kind of what I did to fix it. So all right, hope that was informative for you, and you have a good day. Bye.